it is no surprise that the Dallas Mavericks have made this move. It is one that many people wanted to make the second Luka Doncic got traded. They waited 9 months, but now Nico Harrison is gone from the Mavericks. Let's react to this surprising news from the NBA. We're stunned, all of us, shocked. Absolutely flabbergasted, really, that the Dallas Mavericks have fired Nico Harrison 9 months after the trade of Luka Doncic. And look, we're having our fun with this one. I tend to be of the belief, usually, that this early into an NBA season, if you were going to fire someone because things weren't going well, then why were you doing it to begin with? Like, give people some time or fire them in the offseason. That being said, this is a special circumstance because when you trade Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis, you are, whether they want you to believe it or not, even a team with the first overall pick, you are shortening, closing, whatever, your championship window. And so you are graded more on the here and now than what is going on in the future. And the here and now has been an abject disaster for the Mavericks. Let's just take a old peek-see here at the NBA standings real quick. Let's just go there. Let's go. Yeah, we won't go by conference. We'll have to scroll. We have to keep scrolling. Oh, hey, they're 3-8 to start the season. They are currently tied with the New Orleans Pelicans, who everybody's laughing at right now. They are ahead of holy crap, the East sucks. They are ahead of Brooklyn, Indiana, and Washington, who all have one win so far this season. It's been awful. And there isn't. Yesterday, we did the day ball thing. And it's, okay, you know what? This was a roster construction issue, not a coaching issue. They fired the wrong guy. This one, they're 3-8 and having a team meeting. And Harrison is walking around like the Tim Robbins sketch of the guy in the hot dog costume. Like, yeah, we're all trying to figure out who's responsible for this. Do I think that they have utilized Cooper Flagg in the most optimal ways? No, I do not. Like Jason Kidd, I think bears some responsibility here, but this one's obvious. The body is not cold yet. The gun is still smoking, and it's in the hands of Nico Harrison. It's obvious where this whole thing went wrong, and this will go down as one of the all-time blunders and one of the worst trades in the history of the NBA. Even if neither team does anything, like if both teams just go on to be average for the next 15 years, the entirety of Luka's career, both the Lakers and the Mavericks peak at 44 wins, and their the worst that they go to is 38 wins. Even if they're just that, this is one of the worst trades of all time. When you are looking at what it meant for the fan base and the market and how devastated their team was. Also, when you look at a team that had gone to the NBA Finals and had been close to the NBA Finals before, you broke up a championship caliber team to try to change the identity. And look, I kind of bought into this team this year. There was an issue of who was going to play point guard. I don't think answering that with the rookie who hasn't played point guard in his life was the right move to make. But obviously you're not going to go make a big splash because Kyrie Irving is coming back. I bought into it a little bit. I was completely wrong on this thing. I said that there are so many different ways where this team can get to over 500, but everything that has gone poorly this year is predictable. And when you trade Luka and you have this superstar and you have the proof of concept of this superstar working, going to the NBA Finals. And I understand that a couple game Windy got on him for the cardio thing and all of that. But you had one of the top 3 players in the NBA carry you to the NBA Finals, and you get rid of him for Anthony. You don't get nearly enough back. You trade him away for Anthony Davis, who has always been an injury risk, and that has played out this year. It is an all-time blunder for the Dallas Mavericks. And now Luka looks good. And that has to play a part into this, right? Like all the talk, well, Luka wasn't getting in shape. Luka wasn't getting in shape. I am sure that hate's a great motivator. And everyone, now LeBron's going to be able to sink his teeth into him and make him this absolute super machine. I'm sure there is part of that, but obviously this guy is motivated now and he is in shape and he's looking really good. And so you have to look at the entire Mavericks organization and say, okay, why couldn't we get that here? Like, what were we doing that even the great version of Luka that we had, we couldn't get through to him in the way that they have gotten through to him? Is it just because we traded him away and now he's pissed? Is that what we were doing? Like, what were we doing wrong that now he is that over there and we have this injured dude over here? All of it equals just, you have to fire him. Like, this is the most obvious move ever. And I will be genuinely surprised. I don't like talking like this. I will be genuinely surprised if this guy gets another job as a general manager in the NBA. How can you? Right? Like, what fan base is going to be stoked that you are bringing in the guy who traded Luka Doncic? And rightly or wrongly, Nico Harrison, I don't know him from Adam, but that is going to be the first line of the biography. Like, his full name is now Nico Harrison, the general manager who traded Luka Doncic. Like, that is, not to be morbid, but on the obit, it is going to be Nico Harrison, comma, general manager who traded Luka Doncic, comma, blah, blah, blah. Like, the biography, the everything, that is going to be the first line of it. And then the first paragraph. He could go out and solve world hunger. And the first line would be, Nico Harrison, who traded Luka Doncic, has solved world hunger. And the first paragraph will be Nico, who couldn't figure out how to get the best out of Luka Doncic, has figured out world hunger. Like, that is what is going to be tied to this guy for the rest of his career and for the rest of his life. And that is, like, that has to suck. Just from a human level, that has to be a not great thing to carry around. But, like, if the Raptors hired him tomorrow, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you got the Holy Grail. You got the thing that the Wizards are 1-10 for, that the Pacers are 1-9 for, that the Brooklyn Nets are 1-9 for. You got the thing that everyone wants. It is the generational talent. And because the dude was celebrating with a couple brewskis and maybe has a little bit of baby fat on him, we're trading him away and we're ruining that. It is shocking to me. You hold on to those things. Look what the Pelicans are doing. The Pelicans have every right to trade Zion Williamson because it's not working. It is not working. And they still hold on to it. Why? Because in the NBA, in a sport where the star matters the most, you don't get rid of it. And he did, and it cost him his job. So that is, I mean, we've gone 10 minutes to do a segment where basically all we would have had to say was, duh. Because it was so obvious here. Let's go into this. Deeds, we'll talk about the fantasy football thing in just a little bit. But, yeah, apologies on that. Toxic, more stunned it didn't happen a month ago. Deeds, right? Yeah, that's fair. This is, you know what, Tall John, this is an excellent cutoff. The Calgary Flames have a better record. That is bad. Yes, the baseball has the Mendoza line. It's now the Flames line. If you are not doing as well in your sport as the Calgary Flames are doing in their sport, everything's on the table. You are allowed to fire whoever you want. Even though I just said Dayball shouldn't have been fired yesterday. But yes, that the Flames line, that they do not reach that, and thus everything needs to be just bleh. Deeds. I don't really follow basketball, and even I saw this coming. Tall John, I bet Mark Cuban is not feeling so bad about giving up most of his interest in the team. To be fair, the trade wouldn't have happened under Cuban, even if he had controlling interest. Valid. That is one thing. I am interested in what Mark Cuban feels about all this. I know he has come out and talked about different things like this in the past. I do wonder where his head is at when, like, he, to his own detriment at times, was a star lover, right? Like, they were trying to get they were tied to every single star. And it was actually kind of interesting to see all the rules. Well, all the rumors, Dallas is going to be in on this guy. It's like they haven't successfully signed any of them, but they're always in on those guys. And you see how he bent over backwards to treat Dirk with the utmost respect. He recognized the value of the star player and recognized the value of what that star player means to the community and to the fans. And Luka, same thing. Like, how many of those Doncic jerseys are walking around still out in the Dallas Fort Worth? How much are you seeing of that? And like, truthfully, how many young Mavericks fans have switched over to be Lakers fans because of this trade? And when you do something that sends people away from your team, it probably wasn't great. There's always going to be a time where trading, like a trade can make sense, right? Like, there is going to be a point where you should trade a star player if things aren't going very well. The Pelicans are 8 miles past it by now. But when he has just taken you to the NBA Finals and is still a top 2 player in the league, that's not the time to be making that trade, especially in the NBA, right? Like, if you were to follow just the regular, this is when you rebuild thing, the Golden State Warriors maybe should have traded Steph Curry a while ago. Just, okay, it's not working. We've kind of reached our thing. 2019, everyone got hurt. Wasn't it? Let's start anew. Instead, they kept it all together, and Steph Curry won a championship in 2022. You hold on to your stars in the NBA, and Nico Harrison didn't, and now he's out of a job. But yes, the Mark Cuban of it all, there's no chance any of this happens under Mark Cuban. But let me know your thoughts. Is there a way you can defend Nico Harrison, aside from he got generationally lucky in the draft lottery and was able to draft Cooper Flagg? Well, what else can you say to defend Nico Harrison? I would love to see it either in the chat live or in the comment section. Also, if you got some Mavericks fans and you want to celebrate, because I'm assuming that's what today is, a day of celebration, let me know, or let them know, and hit that share button, send it out to them, and help keep this conversation going. It's been fun in the chat, seeing a few guys in there today, lighting it up, so happy that we're able to do this here on what is a very important holiday here in North America.